Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel and Crusader Kings 3 Kingdom of Heaven mod, the life of Richard the Lionheart. So when last we left Richard, of course, there had been some maneuvering at court in England with his father naming his brother John as the successor and essentially disinheriting him. So we're going to have to deal a little bit with John and the ramifications thereof, whilst also being in a war here with Navarra. Now we can negotiate. We still have an alliance with Count Heinrich. Other than that, there isn't much here. We've got some people that we can ransom, so we'll do that here real quick. Now, in the last episode, of course, I talked about who I consider, or I mentioned to who I consider is the worst monarch to ever sit the English throne. And answered a couple of those questions in the comments below. There were a few people who mentioned Henry VIII. Henry VIII was definitely a horrible human being. There's no question about that, but not the worst. Not the worst in terms of competencies. I mean, he's kind of up there. But, you know, John obviously comes to mind, top of mind for a lot of people. But his incompetencies kind of led to the Magna Carta, which you can argue is one of the best things to happen, laying many of the foundations we find in modern democracy. Then there is, I think it was Edward VIII, of course, who abdicated the throne, who is the uncle to the current ruler of England in Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, you can throw that in there. George III lost the American colonies, so to speak, but not really. For me, it is Henry VI. He was weak-minded. I mean, some say he suffered from mental illness, though that's not entirely to be documented. He was definitely a simpleton. He lost everything that he was gained by his father. He died pretty unremarkably in the Tower of London. He was manipulated by his wife, and really a lot of his weakness weakened England during the Wars of the Roses to the point that would create the circumstances that would eventually lead to Henry Tudor coming to the throne. So my vote definitely goes for Henry VI. And a lot of people in the comments agreed and also mentioned on their own that, in their opinion, by far Henry VI was the worst monarch England has ever had. So now we are dealing still with this war here between Navarra and Castile. We are sitting at the border here. And before we get into this, we have allies here. We don't have the forces to take these guys on. That's very frustrating. I know how it tends to work. You engage here, and then some of your allies could come in. But I'd like them to come in sooner just because it makes more sense. AI warfare, especially with allies, has gotten better, but it's still not great. So, the odds. Though do not wish it, it seems inevitable that I will have to go to war against Father. Father's acquisition of Brittany bore fruit. Brittany and Normandy are directly under his control and will rally their forces to him. Advisors have urged me to write to the King of Scotland, but I am hesitant. William supported us when we rebelled against our father. This alliance led him to heavy losses in land and possessions. As I am mostly dependent on my forces of Aquitaine, Anjou, and Poitiers, it may be necessary to seek more aid. You send an urgent letter north. Alliance formed with King William, the Lion of Scotland. Very cool. Very cool. You know what? Let's just negotiate that alliance there with Count Heinrich. So that's taken care of. And yeah, now we're sitting here kind of staring at this situation, but these keep popping up. These event chains here in Kingdom of Heaven mod is really, really interesting. I've heard a rumor that soldiers have been sighted moving in large numbers in Brittany. They bear my father's banners. Could he be preparing to attack me? Or is it a form of provocation? Perhaps if I attack before they entrench their forts, I could catch his troops in disarray. But it is never so simple. Father is a great military tactician. These rumors could have been his own doing. A lion moves first and fast. He started war with England. Rumors are just rumors. Let him attack if he dares. You know, let's wait. Fight a defensive war. Also because then bringing in the allies would definitely be a little bit more advantageous for us. I mean, taking on the might of England, not exactly something I'm relishing. About 7,000. We've got those 4,200 sitting on the border there. Let's see what these allies are going to do. I mean, are they going to do anything? Really? War score has turned. Eleanor, I have chosen to stay behind and protect my lands, but it seems Father had anticipated me and already prepared for such a decision. Henry has released Eleanor, the rightful Duchess of Aquitaine, and sent her to me. She has her own schemes to play against Father, for which she needs control of these lands. But Mother, you gave these lands to me. Okay. No immediate effect. This place was always hers. So she gets all the duchies. He's very loyal to his mother. Gets the earldoms. If we roleplay this out, we could go alternative history, but no. You gave these lands to me. I love you, Mom, but I think time goes against you at this point. But of course, she has now created a faction against Richard as we move on. But we still are not in a position to break this siege. That will dramatically flip the war score, obviously, in favor of Castile. But we're in no position to do so because these allies completely suck and are completely pointless in this game at times. Bastions and curtain walls constructed in Le Mans. Very nice. The Duke of Anjou. With Aquitaine returned to Mother. Okay. Anjou, the ancestral homeland of my father, is my last foothold. My alliances are being held together by threads. I am left with only two options. Either I reconcile with Father or find a new powerful ally. Philippe has always held contempt for my father. Our relationship has been complicated as of late, but perhaps he will agree to ally with me in the name of Geoffrey's wife and children. I will write to Paris. So now we still have... we have the Earldom of Anjou. That's about it. So we have now an alliance with the King of France. Very good. We've got that dangerous faction of our mother. That's always great. Philippe's reply. My dear Richard, I was so moved by your concern for Constance and little Arthur. Geoffrey was a dear companion, and each day they spend in captivity is a betrayal of his memory. Words cannot express the joy I feel. Oh, we've just been attacked up here, by the way. To find an ally in a common cause. But as you may know, I have fought righteously on many fronts in the years since I have become king. It has taken its toll on my royal treasury, dear friend. The people would be stretched to provide for another foreign war. Therefore, if I am to help you in your righteous cause, you must provide me in return a total sum of 1,000 crowns, so that I may be able to take care of the children of the empire. In devotion, Philippe. Ever so clever, my friend, we both know this coup will have little to do with Constance and Arthur, but so be it. Word is... And now we have a war going on with England, whilst our forces are getting crushed here by the Castilian army. So let's call in some allies. He's already in the war. Is already fighting in this war. So is everybody already fighting in this war? Navarra in the Independence War. Let's see. King of Aragon. 350 prestige. I will call in everybody I can. Navarra. Yes. No, he won't. He's currently allied with him, fighting in a different war. Alright, well that will just have to do. Of course, we have the English army down here, And we're going to lose this one to Handsome Richard. Of course, I shall join you in this war. Excellent. Okay, we're going to lose this battle to Castile. Let's see here. Can we... I cannot... See, that's the one thing I wish you could do, is just break out more easily. I mean, have it cost you prestige, you name it. But, you know, just being completely always locked into wars is super frustrating. All right, so we've got the Aragonese army here. Liberty demand. To my liege, it is time for you to recognize the ancient and inalienable rights of the vassals. Are you kidding me? What does this do? You get the law autonomous vassals. Let's see, what does that do? Direct vassal opinion plus 10. Vassals provide levies and taxes, but are otherwise free to do as they wish. Well, I'm going to have to... I can't fight England, Castile, and the Allies, so... Vidame Guillaume. I will acquiesce to your demands because I am in no position to do anything else. A rightful claim. The moment has come. All who support Count Richard of Aquitaine as the rightful ruler of England will now rise as one to make sure that he can take the rightful place on the throne. We shall see it done by sword and fire if we must. Duchess Constanza Conan of Brittany, send the ultimatum. And these event chains here are really, really interesting. War declared on Liege. King Henry II is being attacked by the Duchess of Constanza. Claimant defends... Demands refused. Your claim on my title is no more real than the stories we tell children at night. No matter how many misguided fools you have gathered to help carry out your scheme, I will not bend to such a collection of dung. I'd rather die than see my birthright fall to someone so low. Then war it is. I joined the war against King Henry. All right. So England is fracturing right now. We've got our independence war. Brittany is doing some stuff. We have the Castilian army down here. Yeah, and here comes a large French army. And here is our army. We can move north with this army. Yeah, let's start moving north. The English are landing in Brittany. We could head over there and try to take them out. So if all of our allies come with us, then we will be in a very, very good position. We may have a small skirmish here with the Duchy of Berry. Claimant demand. The right to rule Aquitaine belongs to me by divine right. I finally have the means to make it so. I have no choice. Can't do that. I will not be threatened. Rally the troops. All right, so now we have desertion. We are in 4 different wars. And I think it's time to hit pause and just kind of look at all of this crap going on here. I mean, look at all these enemy forces in the south. Then we've got an English army here. I want to crush... Who to crush first? Well, let's head down south to here. See if our allies come. Because if we can crush our mother first, that would be beneficial. I mean, granted, the allies are in the war with England. I don't know if they'll help us. The Infanta is pregnant. Very good. So let's see. Can we take them on in the field? Of course, this is a huge distraction that we really did not need at this time. Let's see. Can we get our allies to come together in time for a battle? Here we go. Allies. No. Allies not coming? No. Because the whole ally system in this game is not good. Imprisoned, I've been captured and detained against my will by Queen Eleanor. I'm no longer a free man. I hope this does not last. A scheme at court. Spy Master has come to me with grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting against me. All right, so we lost that war, so she's going to press her demands. So be it. I'm no longer held by Queen Eleanor. You lost the Duchy of Aquitaine to Queen Eleanor of England. The factions have all disbanded. And we can see right now our allies are there. And that did not go very... That was about as bad as it could be. So many things popping up. We are back down to just a prince. We still have the Duchy of Poitou, Gascogne, and Bourbon. So be it. We're still at war with Castile. We have our independence war and war of Prince Richard's claim on the Kingdom of England. Okay, let's take a look here. Defenders 8,300. The attackers 4,400. So we're still in that. That's interesting. Independence War, we have 20,000 against him. And of course we need to rebuild a little bit. You inherited the Duchy of Aquitaine and 4 other ties with Queen Eleanor. Okay, so now we inherited everything. We are well over the domain limit. And we are back to this joy. Will he come? He will not. Is there anybody else we can call in? Hanover? No. Yeah, so this got super messy, super fast. And we have our army down here. We need a commander, which will, of course, be Richard. And we need to reassess what we're going to do with our army. We've got a large army to the north, which is theoretically Brittany. It's interesting. They are listed as our enemy because they're attacking England. We're technically part of it. It's very confusing, let's be honest. We'll get this little sliver back here. And then I think it will be time to make for England. Your newborn son, George, is the new heir. So we have our future secured. That was really, really important at this point. And now it'll be a matter of marching north, or do we try to land in England? Let's march our troops all the way to the north here, because there are English holdings here, in Rouen as an example, Avranches and so on, that we can try to siege all of that down, have all of our allies come. I don't care about the war with Navarre and Castile. Let them deal with it. It's really, I just don't care at this point. Yeah, it's an ally that's being tied up in another war. What we're going to do is go through here and siege down the English holdings in northern France. Just go at it bit by bit and move on. A saint in heaven. Subban the Holy was a true exemplar of the Christian faith, living a pious and inspiring life. In a grand announcement, Pope Sylvester has decided to include Subban the Holy among the venerated ancestors of old. Many tales are told about the feats Subban did in life, and he will be an inspiration for our descendants in the years to come. It's a great honor for the family of the Blessed One, and may we all aspire to follow in his footsteps. A true saint, bless Subban's name. All right, so we got a few months to go here at the Siege of Alesso. Once that's done, we'll just kind of work our way through here and siege down these parts of northern England. All right, so we're known for our dedication to faith. Always great. Paying homage. My vassal, Viscount Eble, has arrived outside my castle with a grand procession of well-dressed diplomats, knights, and exotic entertainers. The fellowship resembles a parade led by Eble himself. In a booming voice, Ible announces that he is here to pay homage and that he comes bearing gifts of gold. Such generosity is hard to find in a subject. Ible's loyalty is truly something to treasure. Please enter. Deposit the gold on your left. Why, surely you have more to give. No, let's just do that. So we get 50 gold, gain 75 prestige, and he gains 15 opinion of us. Fantastic. And we are... Glory is widely known. As we continue our siege of the English holdings in northern France, we've got a new marshal perk. Stalwart leader gives us more prowess. A man's home, controlled territory, advantage. We'll do that. We'll just go down this one, go to overseer, and then work down the gallant strategist trees as well, if we're able to. Greetings, Count Richard of Poitou. I'll be delighted if your son Philippe could visit my court in Gaurin to meet his peers. Of course, he will be there. Cognac. Who doesn't like a little bit of cognac? All right. So how much longer do we have going here? We've got under a month left. And then this siege will be ours. Okay, siege is won. So now we will move on. Let's move over here and just start slowly but surely sieging down different holdings that we come through. And just, I mean, it's a little bit, you know, patchwork. Our child has been returned. Very nice. You know, a little carpet sieging. Never heard it'd be nice if the French could move on to Rouen or somewhere in there. Continue the siege there. But this siege will go very, very quickly already. All right, so that has been taken. And now, let us move on over here. Siege down this holding in Lisieux. And then I think we can move over to Rouen and take over there. Oh, and we have a massive change. King John has become our new liege, inherited titles from King Henry. So Househead has changed to John. King John of England replaced Henry. The war there. So we are now at war with John. Henry II, who is obviously the most powerful Plantagenet, really, has died, but he was not exactly a nice guy. And you can see here these armies are, let's say, glitching out a little bit. This is a CK3 bug issue that has happened a few times. See, there are some English forces moving through the channel. Let's keep an eye on them. Are they just patrolling? They kind of went back to England. We're just waiting for this to be done, and then we can move on to Rouen and just siege down all of northern France. Greetings, my liege. I have come to discover a most appalling truth about Vidame Guillaume. Though I loathe bringing this matter to your attention, I must inform you that this man is keeping secrets of the alarming kind. Concerns deeply appreciated. Very appreciated. He's a witch. All right. Well, I've got bigger fish to fry right now than witches. All right, so that has been taken, and now I want to move on Rouen itself and take that. That is the big prize. Defeat in the war in Spain, so be it. I really just don't care about that one. Not even a little bit. And now let's see. Can we call him in now to this one? He will not accept. Because, of course. Yeah. All right, so he did not accept that. Our allies are kind of sieging down around us, which means the siege of Rouen will take 4 months. We've got Hanoverese army there, and then a small English army there, trying to occupy the attention of France. But that will not be a success, John. We will take Rouen, and then I think we can maybe even consider a landing on the shores of England. I'm thinking maybe Essex. Greetings, Count Richard of Poitou. I would be delighted if your son Philip could visit my court in Lincoln. No. I'm not going to send him up to England. I'll keep him in France. You're welcome to invite him to any place in France you wish. Aha. So Rouen is ours. Here comes a pretty good-sized English army. So let's actually move down here to Bayeux and see what that English army does. Are they going to set sail and come for us? Crusader Kings. Christian pilgrims to the Holy Lands suffer all manner of abuse, and the routes are fraught with danger. In order to protect the pilgrims and secure Jerusalem for Christ and the faithful, His Holiness Pope Sylvester has accepted the possibility of an outright invasion by joint Christian forces. Deus vult. So we now have access to crusades, which is, of course, something we will keep an eye on. Mercenary contract is expiring. We've got a lot of titles here. We got a lot going on. But right now, I just want to focus on this one. And I'm a little frustrated that the French army here, our allies, are not coming in as part of the siege. I understand it's winter. But it'd be nice if you could come in, because that would really speed things up. And instead of sitting here for damn near a year, we've got a small army sieging down here. But this really bugs me. Okay, here we got an English army. It's going to land in Brittany, because of course that is a war that they are losing big time. So that has them occupied here. And a faction has been created there. See, we have something under siege somewhere. I'm trying to see where. I don't see any besieging forces. But yeah, so the English are in Brittany and taking that. We've got a few months left here in Bayeux, and then that will be ours. And with the English army there, we can move up north. The Saint in Heaven, Art the Pilgrim. Art. Great. Blessed be you. The faithful prepare for war. A papal envoy has reached my court, bringing news from the Vatican. Pope Sylvester issued a call to arms to all righteous Christian rulers. As a Catholic count, I am expected to prepare my men in support of this most holy cause, sponsored by the Universal Church itself. All those who will take the fight against the vile infidels, desecrating the holy grounds of Portugal, the Holy See promises full absolution from all sins and a guaranteed place in heaven. All your warriors will be ready to fight. So I will gladly help finance the cause. So we lose 154 gold and we gain piety. Perhaps I should consider joining. Perhaps I will consider it at this point. Because, of course, we got some priorities here right now dealing with England. See, we have 21,000. They have 8,700. And this siege will be done here relatively soon. So we lost a mercenary company, but we got 20,000 troops against their 8,700. See, that large English army is now leaving Brittany. The question is, are they going to come across here and land here? It'll be interesting to watch which way they sail. Looks like they're sailing for home. They have split their forces. So once Bayeux is ours, we could move against Avranches and take the rest of that as well. After my army sets up camp, I hear a commotion coming from my knight's lodgings. Investigating the disturbance, I find Mayor William and Count Guillaume in the middle of a heated argument, while several onlookers edge them on. Deliver a speech about unity to the crowd. Have them whipped for their delinquency. Sod this, I'm going to my tent and stuffing my ears. I don't have time for these little disputes. Gentlemen. Support. Concerned for my current war, my friend Queen Juan has paid out of her own treasury to aid my efforts. couldn't be more thankful. 75 gold come to us, and 5 days left, and so that is now ours. And we might as well move against Avranches. Now our allies are moving. See if we can take the final northern French holding from the English. And then the Siege of Thiers is lost. All right, see, they're bouncing around again. This is the weird CK3 little dance that they haven't resolved. And this has nothing to do with the mod. In a completely vanilla, unmodded game, I have this kind of junk happen as well. And you can see we're going from like 3 months to like 30 days, depending on how they're cycling through here. If this happens as we decide to... The Teutonic Order has been established. Very cool. Your liege won the war with Duchess Constanza. All right. So the English won that one. We have a new martial lifestyle. Schemer. Discovered by steward Count Bernat was plotting against the evil fiend. Alright, so now we're going to do enduring hardships. So fort level +1. Go down this path. And we have now won this. White piece. Sender King John is sending a white piece. Hasn't enough blood been spilled in this pointless war of yours? Neither of us stand to gain anything. Continue the fight. We accept it. That ends the war. That will end the war of independence. What is the balance of war right now? We're in a very, very strong position. Stronger than John. And I believe we will decline and we will land in Essex and try to just go for London. Push him to his knees as quickly as possible and take it from there. That army, can we see? He's not heading the army, so that means he's probably in London. So we can take London. We can maybe take John and then end this war. I think so. We are going to decline a white peace offering, and we are going to send our troops here in hopes that our allies will join, please, especially that large French army. Getting ahead. Both Duchess Denise of Berry and I are held in esteem by our liege, King John. However, when it comes to handling out titles, honor, and wealth, one of us will always be first among equals. The upcoming gathering at London Castle gives me a chance to ensure I'm the one with the king's favor. As a smooth talker, this should be easy. 52% chance that gains opinion. We get a weak hook on him. Gain prestige. I will illustrate that God already favors me. We vassals should work together, not against each other. Befriending fellow vassals for 5 years. Yeah, we're going to do that. Let's work together. Because I do not want a split force. Where are my allies going? You ruler in the making. There is no end to the opinions and wants of my son and heir, George. Half of the time, he is trying to tell me what to do instead of the other way around. So he is bossy. So my French allies are going where exactly? Yeah, no, we are... Let's pause this here real quick. And we are going to not do that because we can't win without these guys. They were distracted by that army. Faction created against John. Be nice. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that drives me nuts because we cannot win without them. Cannot win. King John is being attacked by Prince Reese. Okay, so he's slightly distracted. I'm gonna wait for my allies to show up in the same province. Ideally, just waiting for that big old French army. See what they're gonna do. They're going around this way. And we've got a substantial force. Now let's try to land here. I just don't know what these guys are doing. They're just running around all over the place. I cannot win without those guys joining. It's very, very frustrating to have that be such a massive issue. Let me take a real quick look. I can raise the rest of my armies. What kind of mercenaries are out there? The English Band of Suffolk gives us 900 men. The Alemannic Sellswords Band of Artois gives us 2,000 men for 500 gold. But then we could get bankrupted really, really quickly. But I think this is where we're going to end it right now. This movement of these allies is really, let's be honest, it's massively problematic. Just because I cannot win a siege of London without them. I'm going to wait till I land here. And I think in the next episode, we're just going to wing it and try it and see if they join. And if not, well, then we've got a problem. Now, we've got this small army here from Hanover. They're going to win. That's going to take them about a year for that siege. We've got 10,000 now here. Let's try this again. We're going to attempt our landing, see if they're going to come, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Just the behavior of allies in CK3. It's always bothered me. Theoretically, historically, they had fixed it, but it doesn't seem to be the case right now. So we're going to just sit here. Let's see, how much would it take to take London? Fort level 3 only. Okay, so let's take our army and engage and just see what happens. If we can get allies to finally come across the channel, especially the French, that would be huge. And we've got 12,000 men right here. Another 3,000. We will send them over here as well. Through the countryside. Send more of our troops. And ideally some allies come. And then we can actually win this one because the English, again, are being preoccupied by the Welsh. Okay, he won his war, so now he can focus solely on us. We've got those 9,000 English soldiers bearing down on us. And I said we're going to do this in the next episode, and that is where I'm going to end today. And I don't know if any of our allies are going to come, but this could be, let's just say, problematic, because odds are these guys are going to reach us before we end our siege. Allies in CK3, are they broken? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy. Now we'll talk to you soon.